What up, guys? The Bench Buddies are back with Week 7 MLB Power Rankings. As always, hit that subscribe button down below to get us to 500 subscribers, where I will be doing that giveaway. But before I jump in, we got to talk about who was hot last week at the plate, and it was Luis Robert Jr. and Christian Yelich. These guys were on a tear last week. Robert, showed us his MVP talent for the White Sox, which haven't been a good team this year, but he is giving them a chance to win ball games with his approach at the plate. And then Christian Yelich is slowly having a decent season. He has had a few bad seasons since his breakout, MVP year before COVID. And then, this week came back up for those stats, hitting 400, 3 home runs, 3 stolen bases, and 9 RBIs. So let's see if he can continue that tear for the Brewers for the rest of the season. The pitchers of the week are Mitch Keller and John Gray. Mitch Keller had 2 exceptional starts, a complete game shutout against Colorado, and then he also blanked Baltimore for 7 innings. That whip of 0.56 was almost a hit every other inning, and 21 strikeouts and 16 innings pitched is not too bad. And then John Gray, almost as good, 15 innings, 13 strikeouts, 2 wins and quality starts. He went 7 against Seattle and 8 scoreless against Oakland. And, these 2 guys are most deserving of pitchers of the week. The team of the week is going to be the Los Angeles Dodgers. This team, I'll start at the bottom there. It's now 16-4 since April 22nd. So they got off to the gates a little sluggish, but they really started finding themselves towards the ends of April. And now that they are in control of the NL West, they swept San Diego 3-0 at home. And that was a very big series for the NL West early in this season. And they're also hitting the ball really well, putting it out of the ballpark. They're second in home runs with 68, 26th in average, though. They need to work on getting on base more. But the OPS is there, so when they are getting hits, it shows that they are getting very meaningful hits, whether it's home runs, doubles, or triples. And then the pitching has been keeping this team in ball games, 10th in ERA. The starters are getting deep into games with 19 quality starts. And this Dodgers team, yet again, is looking like a powerhouse out of the NL West. And we'll talk about the biggest movers in this week's power rankings. The Cardinals and the Yankees are moving up 5, and the Phillies also join them, moving up 4. And then the teams that are falling are the Padres, Pirates, and Giants, with those top two falling 7 spots, and the Giants moving down 6. And the Pirates were at 2 just 2 weeks ago and have already fallen out of the top 10, almost into the 20s. In the 30 through 21, still at the bottom are the Oakland A's. This team is the last team to not have double-digit wins this year, and they're just a monstrosity, struggling team. Just whatever bad word you want to use, that's the Oakland A's this year. The Kansas City Royals are just barely above them, and the biggest surprise are those Chicago White Sox at 14-28 this year. Very, very bad. And then the Rockies, Giants, Nationals are all teams that could flip-flop every week. Same with those Reds. And then the Cardinals are making that jump up, trying to get their footing back after a very bad start. Going 5-1 last week helps, but you can still see that they are 9 games under 500. And then my Tigers staying put at 22 after going 3-3. Against Seattle, they really tried to take care of business in the last game, and they did, and showed up to play. Now they got a tough week against Pittsburgh on Tuesday and Wednesday, so that'll be a very meaningful series for those Tigers. And then the Marlins move back up to 21 after not the best week, but it is a week where some teams fell. At 20, I have the Cleveland Guardians, and they're moving up 1 after some teams falling. They're 19-21, not out of the AL Central even close to yet, after that division's gonna be all mumbled jumbled pretty much till September. The Mets are staying at 19 after going 3 for 3 last week. In 20-21, this team has looked bad. They're -10 run differential right now. The Cubs down 1, Pirates down 7, Angels down 4, and the Padres down 7. So that 4 spans of teams right there are looking to have bounce back weeks this week. As you can see, the Padres went 1-5, while those other teams went 2-4. And the Angels, it's really gonna be a hit or miss week for them. When Ohtani and Trout have good weeks, this team's gonna be moving up, and if they don't, they're gonna be moving down. The Pirates, however, got off to that super hot start and have cooled down mightily as long as Mitch Keller isn't pitching. And then the Padres just need to start figuring things out, playing more as a team. if they want to get back in that top 10. And then we have 3 teams moving up. We have the Phillies moving up 4, Mariners and Diamondbacks moving up 3. And those Diamondbacks are, playing very quietly into a wild card berth right now, as if things were to end. The Mariners, obviously, and the Phillies sitting there at 500 are looking to get back on track and get well above 500. Then the Red Sox make the dip out of the top 10 after a bad week, going 1-4 last week, and they look to rebound this week. In the top 10, we'll start at 10. The Twins are moving up 4 spots after they have now a commanding lead in the AL Central after going 4-2 last week. The Brewers at 9 are moving up 2, and they also lead the NL Central as well after a 4-2 week. Those Yankees, well, they had a really good week beating Tampa and really showing that this team is here to play. In last place in the AL Central at 23-19. It's just unheard of at this point. The Astros at 7 are up 2 as well after a 4-2 week, getting them above 500. And then at 6, falling out of the top 5 are the Atlanta Braves after a very bad series against the Blue Jays by getting swept. They are moving out after a 1-4 week. But, I think the Braves right now are the most complete team in baseball besides Tampa. They don't have any injuries or bad injuries. Fried's on the IL, but other than that, this team is at full strength so far this season and looking like they are going to be the NL favorites. Starting the top 5, you have the Toronto Blue Jays after coming off that sweep against the Braves. This team looks like they are going to be giving whoever is in first place in the AL East in September a run for their money. I think they finally put it all together, at least through these 40 games that they've played. They are looking really good. And then those Orioles as well, moving down 1, but they're just in the same boat as the Blue Jays in the AL East. It's just going to be a loaded division this year. One of those teams is probably not going to make the playoffs between the Orioles, Blue Jays, Rays, and Yankees. And, unfortunately, it's just going to be who can beat each other the most in AL East play. So those games are really going to matter down the stretch. And then our last NL team here, remaining at 3, are the Dodgers, who had a really good week last week, 5-1. Took care of the Padres, obviously, as I said before. And they're looking really good after some concerns coming into the year. Those concerns have been washed away as this team has really hit their stride. And then the Texas Rangers as well are a team that's hit its stride. Nathan Eovaldi came out of nowhere and having his career season so far this year. John Gray has been great. And when they get DeGrom back, hopefully he can stay healthy the whole time. That 1-2 punch with him and Eovaldi is going to be good. And then Gray as the third option would be even better in the postseason. So the Rangers have finally figured it out hitting-wise and pitching-wise as well. And it's good to see them back up here in the top 10. And then the Rays, of course, stay at 1. Even after a losing week, they are still 31-11, first team to 30 wins. And, they've just been on a tear. There will be some point where they do start to cool off, but how long is going to be the question. And that's going to be it for this week's video. Make sure you guys check back next week to see where your team ranks. But until the next time, the Bench Buddies are out.